Hey, what's going on everyone? So recently on YouTube I've seen a little trend within people's videos. So I see a lot of people doing these tier lists and ranking these things. So I thought, why not jump on the trend while it's hot and try and, get the views from it like I tried to do with the diss tracks in 2017. I mean, that clearly failed because it never got released, but that's not the point. So the point is, I'm here to do a tier list today, and I was going to start with something like game controllers, Smash characters, Sonic games, something like that. But I thought instead I'll do something that I know, like I know a lot about this company and their movies. So I thought, why not do a Pixar tier list? And there's nothing wrong with doing a Pixar tier list because I love these movies, and I'm sure most of you do as well. But it is what it is. Right. We'll begin. So, what I've thought about, how to do this. I'm not gonna just go along. Actually, yeah, I'll do it along the line. So we'll start with Up and we'll finish on Brave. I was gonna do it in order of debut. So first it'll be Toy Story and we'd end on Incredibles 2, but it's more convenient to do it this way because I'll have to think. Anyways, so Up. Alright, Up is a film I've not seen for a long time. Alright, Up. So obviously the story follows Carl Fredricksen, your boy Russell, and Kevin the Bird. It was a good film, actually. I really enjoyed this movie. The more I watch this movie, the more I appreciate it. As most people did, during the intro scene on your first time watching it, you shed a tear. This is actually a very difficult choice. See, I want to put it... I don't know about B or A tier because I like the movie, don't get me wrong, but I don't like it as much as... Alright, sorry about the quick edit. We have an unexpected visitor in the back of the room. Mason. What? So, I'm just saying. Right, anyways, Up. Right, Up. I like the movie, don't get me wrong. I really do like this movie. I do like this movie. I really do love this movie. It's full of heart, it's full of joy, everything like that. But I just can't rewatch it as much as I can most of these other films. I'm gonna have to put Up as a B tier. I'm not putting it a B tier because it's bad. I'm putting it a B tier because it's not got the same rewatch value as the other films. I don't think, because I've seen these other films more times than this film. Definitely, well, not all of them, but most of them. So I'm gonna have to put Up as a B tier. But Toy Story 1, on the other hand, this. Instant S tier. I'm not just putting S tier because it's the first one, it's the best. Like, I genuinely love the Toy Story trilogy. Toy Story 4's around the corner as well, so I'm excited for that. It looks better than I expected it to look, considering it's going to be the last Toy Story and whatnot. But it's happening, and it looks great. It does all the edits. Distraction should be gone now. Anyways, so Toy Story. Do I even have to explain why Toy Story's S tier? Like, I don't. The movie's got a ton of rewatch value. I've seen it more times than my own feet have touched the floor at this point. And I just genuinely love this movie. It's great. It's a great watch. It always is a great watch. The stories, I just love this. I love this movie. And considering it was Pixar's first, it really did set the bar. But this next movie, on the other hand, Monsters University, boy oh boy, what did they do to this fucking series? Right. So before I go ahead and talk about Monsters Inc., obviously I have to say Monsters University. And what I'm going to say about Monsters University is it's nowhere near on the level of brilliant as Monsters Inc. is. But that doesn't mean it's not a bad film. It's definitely not F or D tier. Definitely not. I've seen this movie a lot and I do like this movie. I don't think it's bad. But I don't think it's good either. It's just one of the more meh type movies. And I don't want to have to make a new subcategory titled meh just for those movies, because no movie deserves meh. Well, some do, but not all of them. None on this list, anyway. But Monsters University, I'm gonna have to put you at a C tier because I do like the film. I do love the film. It's just not as fun as most of the other films, and the morals in this film are just meh. They're really meh. So that's why Monsters University, is a C tier. But Finding Dory is a very mixed bag for me. Finding Dory is a movie I waited for my whole life, because my first ever movie I watched was Finding Nemo, and it's one of my favourite films to date. So this film, when it got, before it even got announced, I was praying to the heavens, to the gods, please make a Finding Nemo sequel. It's about time. You've done 3 Cars and you've done this many Toy Stories, whatever. I was mad, to say the least, that, you know, probably one of the best Pixar movies out there didn't get a sequel until 2016. And when this movie did come out, I wasn't happy with it. Well, I was happy with it. I was really happy with it. I cried to this movie. Probably because, obviously, it's the sequel I've waited for my whole life. And obviously, there were some moments in it. But I don't know. I really don't know about Finding Dory. It didn't disappoint all the way through. But some areas really did disappoint me. But they did make some nice callbacks. I did appreciate the references and stuff. But I would have this movie in S tier if it was a little bit better, but it wasn't. So I'm going to have to put Finding Dory in A tier, which does suck because, again, I waited 13 years for this movie. And most people did as well, but it is what it is. But this movie, I'm putting it right up there. Putting it past Toy Story. This is, in my opinion, the best Pixar movie there is. This is the best Pixar movie out there, in my opinion. It's funny, it's fun, it's full of heartwarming emotion. Everything about this film just shrieks perfect. And I'm just gutted Finding Dory couldn't live up to the same, you know, standards as this movie. But, obviously, no sequel is ever as good as its predecessor. Well, it is in some cases, but very rarely. Anyways, I'm not even looking at the camera anymore. So, yeah, Nemo. I don't have to explain. I think it's quite obvious why Finding Nemo's an S tier. So we'll move on to keep this thing nice and short. So, Cars 2. Cars 2. Actually, no. D. Cars 2, everyone says, is the worst Pixar movie. I disagree. Cars 2 is not the worst Pixar movie. It is the 3rd worst Pixar movie. But I have fun with this film. When I watch it, I'm like, yeah, this is alright. But then if I watch it again in the space of 2 days, I'm like, no, it's bullshit. This movie's awful. But I can have fun with this movie every now and then. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad film as everyone says it is. It's not a bad movie. It's pretty good. Well, it's not good. It's just really, really just below average. But again, I can't say much about Cars 2. It's just a movie about spy cars. And it's boring for the most part. But at the same time, I enjoy, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. We'll call it a guilty pleasure. The Incredibles 1. Alright then. So The Incredibles 1. Oh, this is going to be a controversial pick. I can't decide on S or A. Incredibles 1 is a good film. This movie's great. I love this film. But at the same time, I mean, it's another one of those movies I don't see myself rewatching every so often. It's just really standard sometimes. It's just one of the more blander movies. And that's, well, it's not bland, but it's one of the more unrewatchable. Because most of these Pixar movies I could watch over and over again every day. But Incredibles, no, I can't. So I'm going to have to put Incredibles as an A tier, which is going to piss off a lot of people. I understand that. But you got to remember, these are my opinions and my opinions. Probably not alone, but I'm very sure they would be alone. Anyways, right, next one we have is Ratatouille. Another controversial pick. I'm going to put Ratatouille as a B tier. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at B. Ratatouille for me is one of those movies that make you hungry. It's another one of those movies that make you feel for the characters, and also it's one of those movies where they really did get creative with its story and everything like that. You know, that's one thing these movies never fail with. Creativity is genius. I love it. But at the same time, Ratatouille for me, I can't rewatch it over and over again. It does get boring at a few parts in the film, and I just think, oh, what the fuck am I watching? But I do quite enjoy this movie. I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it enough to put it in A tier. The Good Dinosaur goes straight into F tier. Oh no, that should say E. Shame on the creator of this tier list. You don't know your alphabet. Anyways, The Good Dinosaur, E tier. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are like screaming at me saying, put it C tier. This is my least favourite Pixar movie because it's boring. It's somewhat unimaginable, whatever the word is. And I just can't sit down and watch this movie. I didn't laugh once. I didn't cry at all. It got a few smirks out of me. The animation was gorgeous. That's one point to it. But everything else was just really shit. And the fact that they delayed Finding Dory to put this movie out first did piss me off as well. Because this movie was shit. But the Hang Up the Octopus Easter egg was nice, I guess. But other than that, The Good Dinosaur, no comment. I don't like this movie. Cars 1, D tier. Actually, no, C tier. I'll be generous. No, I'm not being generous. That's just my thought. Cars 1 was not bad. It was not a bad movie. A lot of people do like to shit on the Cars franchise because it is basically just made for merchandise. I will admit they made this movie for merchandise and merchandise alone. I don't care. I like this movie. It's good to watch. You know, everything. You know, the soundtrack's great. The characters, yeah, they're not very good. Lightning McQueen's a dickhead, and he remains one throughout the entirety of the trilogy. But it's just another one of those movies where there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, if I had to give my opinion, that the franchise in Pixar with the best characters is definitely between Monsters Inc. and Toy Story and The Incredibles. They're very tied between characters. Soundtrack definitely goes to Finding Nemo. The soundtrack to Finding Nemo is unbelievably perfect. It is just a masterpiece of a soundtrack. And in terms of best animation, it has to go to Coco. 100% goes to Coco. But at the same time, I mean, Cars it's just one of the average films, one of the more average ones. But I like it. It's a guilty pleasure. Cars 3, on the other hand, I'd say it's still a C tier, but it's a very, very low C, borderline D tier. So I'm not going to make a new section C-. I'm not going to just do that out of the blue, because that's just pointless. But Cars 3, yeah, it's better than Cars 2, and it certainly isn't as good as Cars 1. But it was a good sequel, I guess, to Cars 2. It made up for its mistakes, and at the same time, I came out of this movie smiling. I did enjoy this movie. I watch it quite often, and it's one of the movies that I didn't expect to like, but I did. You know, the whole crash scene, when I saw that for the first time, my heart sunk. That was actually quite shocking. But everything else, yeah, it's just a very mediocre movie. And that's all the Cars trilogy is, mediocre. But this movie, on the other hand, A Bug's Life, does not get enough credit. It's an 80 for me. You know, this is one of my first Pixar movies and one of my first movies in general. I love this movie. It's one of those films where you sit down, you watch it, you don't get tired of it, you don't get bored. You just sit there and you love it. You laugh. It's great. It's a great movie. I don't know why it gets so much shit. I mean, I can see why, because it is quite uninspired in some places, and it's meh sometimes. It's just very meh. But I like the film, and that's my opinion. And probably my opinion alone. No, there's definitely some people out there that like this movie. There has to be. But I quite like this movie a lot. So it's an A tier for me. The Incredibles 2, straight to S tier. When this movie came out, it blew me away. This is absolutely the sequel that The Incredibles deserved. It was a little bit more Toy Story 2 than it was Cars 2 and Finding Dory. But again, the film did feel lackluster in places. Like, they basically wasted the Underminer as a character, because at the end of The Incredibles 1, we have him teased to us as the next villain for the next movie, which took forever to come out as well. But when it did come out, they completely wasted him. And obviously they swapped the main character from Mr. Incredible to Elastigirl and had Mr. Incredible being the, Mr. Incredi dad. And you obviously got the Screenslaver as your new villain, and he was wasted as well. Well, she was wasted. But again, I don't care if the characters were wasted. The movie was great. The animation's great. It got a good kick out of me every now and then. I did find myself sprawling in laughter at one place. I'm pretty sure you know what place I'm talking about. The rest of the film, yeah, great movie, absolutely great. I actually watched this movie 5 times in 1 week. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Never get tired of it. WALL-E was the first film I saw in cinemas, so I do have. Actually, no, I have no nostalgia for this movie. I don't really remember it that well. I remember going to the cinema and watching the opening, but I don't remember the rest of it. But what I do remember about WALL-E is that it's a pretty good film. It is a good film, and it's emotional. It's full of heart. Story is warm. It's warm and welcome. It's a great movie. WALL-E's a really great watch. I'd put it in A tier, but I'm going to put it in a B tier because, again, while it is a great movie, it's not one of the best. It's just really, it's not a weird one by any means. It's totally what I could imagine a dystopian future to be. But at the same time, I mean, I just I can't come to good terms with Wall-E anymore. It's not one of those movies I sit down and think, oh yeah, that's my future, that's great, you know, this movie's fucking amazing, 10 out of 10. It's just one of the average movies, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, I do have some nostalgia pandering for this film. Monsters Inc. is next, straight to S tier. I didn't, right, this is going to be hard to admit, I never used to like this movie that much. I would have put it a B tier, maybe a C, but after rewatching this movie quite often, quite a lot, I like it. I really like this movie. It's one of the best, easily. The characters, well, they're not really relatable, but they are definitely some of the greater characters in the Pixar universe. They are Mike and Sully, the best duo in the entirety of the Pixar universe, in my opinion. Better than Mike and Sully, no, better than Buzz and Woody, better than Lightning and Meta, whoever else you want. I like this. I can't stress how much I love this movie and how much it warms my heart. After watching this movie for the first time in 5 years, seeing the ending to that movie, oh my jeez, it broke me. It genuinely broke me, and for good reasons. They developed the characters fantastically. They set out the location fantastically. Everything about the movie just screams fucking brilliant, and I applaud that. I applaud Monsters Inc. and I'm very, very upset with myself for not giving it a chance earlier. But Monsters Inc. brilliant film. Inside Out, A tier. Sorry to piss on your chips, but Inside Out to me isn't quite an S tier, because while there is character development, as you can see in all the other films as well, there is character development. Inside Out's character development seems like it just rips it from Finding Nemo, because Marlin starts out as, oh, happy, wee, but when something goes wrong, which he has reasons for, his fucking family got slaughtered, apart from his only son, he becomes a bit of a douchebag. But then when he realizes you have to let go of things and just let loose, give someone else a chance, he becomes a better character and a better person overall, like a better fish. But in this case, Joy, yeah, she starts out Laffy Taffy, but then when sadness comes along, and when everyone else comes along and she can't be in control of Riley, she becomes an absolute fucking bitch. Like, honestly, I could not stand this character during that time. But the rest of the characters were hilarious. Fear and anger were hilarious. Disgust was just one of the bland characters I have no interest in Disgust. Bing Bong was great. Sadness, obviously, during the entire film, you did think to yourself, yeah, she definitely has a purpose. She's not just there for no reason. The characters were great, apart from Joy. Joy, considering she's the main character of the movie, she was just an absolute cow for most of it, and it's a shame, because it does drag it down from an S tier, but the rest of the movie is great. Bing Bong Perishing really did hit to me. The rest of it, it's a great film. It's a great film, but it's not good enough. Coco is a movie I really underestimated. S tier, definitely. I really did underestimate this movie. When the trailers and stuff came out for it, I thought, oh, well, this is not a beloved Disney IP that I know. It's not Lightning McQueen or Nemo or Mike Wazowski. I'm not going to go watch it. It's going to be shit. It fucking was not, mate. I opened my eyes to a wider world of movies. And Coco, up there on the top scale. Animation, absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the best looking films of 2018. Probably one of the better looking animated films, period. Because obviously as we progress it'll look better, but period, this is booming, this is brilliant. Soundtrack to it, the characters, oh my god, amazing. The twist story was great as well. And the ending when he's playing the guitar to his grandmama, I'm a lad. Yeah, I'm a lad. I'm not supposed to be an emotional train wreck, but I am. These movies absolutely get to me. This movie, woo, my room became an ocean. But the entire film, roller coaster of emotions. Love it. Animation's great. Soundtrack's great. Miguel and Hector, Jesus Christ, dude, I love this movie. Fantastic, and I really want the rest of my family to give this movie a go. They think it's just very meh, but that's because they haven't sat down through it. But I love this movie, and I'm very upset with myself for not giving it a shot in cinema, because I regret that. But Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, I'm going to say this right now, are in the S tier. Toy Story 2 is my favourite of the trilogy, until Toy Story 4 comes out, if that's any better. But I love this. I love Toy Story 2. I absolutely love Toy Story 2. I don't know why. It's just got a certain charm to it that I like. I can't describe it. But the introduction of Jesse, Bullseye, you know, they're great. The scene inside Alice Toyborn, that's great as well. Fake Buzz was fucking hilarious. It's just another around great time. Toy Story 3, I love the movie. It's very, very emotional. That last scene, the final scene to this movie, gets me every time. Just like Avengers Endgame, I cry to this movie every fucking time. I'm gonna do a Marvel tier list, actually. That's a good idea. Anyways, Toy Story 3, fantastic, love it, absolutely love it. So that's all I gotta say about these movies. But Brave, this is the one Pixar movie I never remember exists. E tier. A lot of people say, oh, Brave, it's one of the best. It's one of the best films, you know, fucking redhead with a bow and arrow and the fucking bear. I don't care, I can't do Scottish. I can't do the fucking Scottish. But I don't get this film. Oh no, little girl, dad loses his leg, I think. I don't know, I can't remember. To a bear called Mortu, or whatever he's called, and then they set out to kill all the bears. Merida's a bitch, so she gets a mama's spell, turning her into a bear, which makes her realise family's more valuable than anything. And I'm pretty sure we've all been in that situation ourselves before, where we think to ourselves, oh no, my parent, no, they're an ass, they didn't let me do this. No, they do love you, they're just being very protective, and they know what's best for you. I've been there myself very recently, and I apologise sincerely to my parents for that. But on the other hand, Brave is just completely forgettable to me. I remember the film because I have seen it quite a lot, but easily one of the more forgettable Pixar films to me, and it's a shame. It really is a shame, but it is what it is, I'm afraid, folks. Anyways, that is all the time I have for this video. You know, that's all the movies done. I'm gonna go ahead and do the MCU next. I reckon I'll do the MCU next because I love the MCU. Fucking fantastic set of movies. I love it. But anyways, that's it. That's all the time I got for this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. It's great. It was great fun doing this. Actually, I can see why it's a trend. You know, listen to all these people's opinions. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. I've been 8-Bit Preston. This has been my Pixar tier list. If you guys wanna, you know, create your own Pixar tier list and, you know, tell me, you can tell me in the comments below what your favorite is, what your least favorite is, or you can do it SAB, whatever. You know, whatever suits you best. If you want to do that, you can do. I won't absolutely roast you for it. You know, if you love The Good Dinosaur, put S tier. Finding Nemo, E tier. That's your choice. It's completely up to you. Anyways, I've been 8-Bit Preston. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one of mine. Take care, and peace out.